You're still on mute.
I'm sorry.
There you are.
Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the Governor's Interagency Advisory Council on Homelessness to Housing. This meeting has been publicly noticed in compliance with Nevada's open meeting law. Chair Tim Robb will call the meeting to order.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is 1:07 p.m. on October 29th, 2025. I'd like to call the meeting of this Nevada Interagency Advisory Council on Homelessness to Housing to order. Will the moderator please call the roll?
Of course. Chair Tim Robb.
I am here.
Administrator Robert Thompson.
I'm here.
Deputy Director Emily Testweed.
I'm here.
Administrator Stephen Acroft.
Present.
Colonel Mary Devine.
I received notification that she was likely not going to be able to join today.
Lieutenant Christopher Gurrell.
Hi, this is Dr. Annie Wilson. Lieutenant Gurrell, he's been off the board about a year. I was appointed to the board months ago. It's Dr. Annie Wilson with Metro Police Department.
That is noted. Thank you, Dr. Wilson. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Hello.
Lieutenant Chetana Daniel. Assemblyman Max Carter. Senator Dina Neal.
Here.
Judge Bridget Robb. I'm sorry, Judge Robb, we can't hear you. You're still on mute.
And I'm having difficulty muting and unmuting. I'm present.
Thank you. Judge Mike Montero. Sheriff Jerry Allen. Dr. Katrina Grigsby Thedford.
Here.
Thank you. It looks like we have quorum, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. And with that, we will move into agenda item number 2. This is the agenda item for public comment. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this matter until it is specifically addressed on the agenda. Comments may be limited to 3 minutes. If you're making public comment via phone, please call 1-775-321-6111. The meeting ID is 129-817-521, followed by pound. We are now open for public comment. Does anybody on the teams wish to make public comment? Hearing and seeing none. Moderator, did we receive any written public comment in between the last meeting and now?
There is none.
Thank you. And we'll give it just a minute to see if anybody calls in for public comment. Having not seen anybody join via phone, this is the last call for public comment from anybody on the line. Okay, with that, we will move on to agenda item number 3 for possible action. This is discussion and possible approval of the meeting minutes from August 21st, 2025, from the meeting of the Interagency Advisory Council on Homelessness to Housing. Is there any discussion on or hopeful edits from anybody on the council from the minutes from August 21st meeting? Not seeing any. I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Robert Thompson, motion to approve.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Katrina, a second.
I heard Judge Robb first, but thank you so much for both of you. We will now take it to a vote. All those in favor of passing the minutes from the August 21st meeting, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. We will now move into agenda item number 4. This is for the meeting minutes of September 18th, 2025 meeting. Is there any discussion on those minutes? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion for approval of those minutes as well. We have a motion from members of the council for approval of the minutes.
Steve Acroft, move approval.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second?
Robert Thompson, second.
Thank you, sir. All those in favor of passing the minutes from the September 18th minute, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. We will now move into agenda item number 5. This is an information
Hey, Rob.
only. Yes, Judge Rob.
This is Judge Rob. I wasn't present for that meeting, so I need to abstain.
Thank you so much. We will note it. Okay, with that, we will move into agenda item 5. This is the Rural Nevada Consortium of Care Homeless update from Michelle Fuller-Hallauer. Oh, unfortunately, I don't think we can hear you.
How about now?
There we go. Perfect.
All right. I guess it helps if I have my microphone set right. Good afternoon, Chairman Rob, members of the council, and members of the public. Today, I'm Michelle Fuller-Hallauer with Winged Wolf Innovations, and today I'm wearing the hat of the Rural Nevada Continuum of Care coordinator. So I wear many hats and been before you with for multiple purposes, but that's the hat I'm wearing today. So with that, if you will allow me, I would like to share my screen, and I hope I'm sharing the right screen. So hopefully if I can get just a thumbs up that you are seeing my PowerPoint presentation and not some of the
That's
other
good.
junk on my screens. So we had the unfortunate situation where HUD has not accepted or validated the 2025 point in time and housing inventory count numbers yet. So we haven't really shared them out publicly. So the data I'm going to be referencing today really is focusing on 2024 data and longitudinal data. So with that, we'll kind of move forward. I'll be walking us through that data and starting with kind of the national data as well as then state, and then kind of narrowing us down to what it looks like at the rural level. So I just wanted you to be aware that nationally, housing rents are really unaffordable, right? They are running about $14,000 a year or a month for a 1-bedroom. And in the state of Nevada, they're running just over $1,600, right? So there's a discrepancy. Rents are increasingly unaffordable. And the monthly minimum wage nationally is just over $300, and for our state it's just over $500. So there's a huge discrepancy. The inventory count is a kind of a assessment of the housing that we have across our community. Includes our emergency shelters, our transitional housing, and our permanent supportive housing, which is rapid rehousing and permanent supportive housing. I would like to point out that 31 out of every 10,000 Nevadans experience homelessness, and the gross median gross rent was over, $1,300. And this is just a plot to kind of let you know where we identify with across the nation with other states. Per 100,000 residents, the balance of state has seen fluctuations over the last decade, but in the most recent years, we have shown a clear increase of people who are experiencing homelessness in our rural and frontier communities. By gender, both men and women saw an increase in 2024 with a higher share of unsheltered. That's folks that are sleeping outside. They're not coming in for a shelter or transitional housing. By gender, we have 204% more men that are experiencing homelessness than women in our rural communities. Gender expansive people, while being a small number, remain entirely unsheltered. These figures highlight the urgent need for inclusive shelter policies. By gender, both men and women, I apologize for that. I also wanted to indicate here that adults over the age of 25 are most likely to be unsheltered, with more than 8 in 10 living out of doors. The stark rise in our older adults may signal a troubling trend in those folks that are aging into homelessness and what we call our silver tsunami, those folks that are older and the rents are rising to a point where they can't afford their rent anymore, and they're entering our homeless situation. And this really, we've seen it, saw it really start in our urban communities, and it is really rolling into our rural communities at this point. From 2015 to 2024, we saw some stark shifts. Here on this chart, you will see that chronic homelessness has more than doubled in our rural communities. Our veterans and our unsheltered populations have also sharply increased. On the other hand, our families and child homelessness has declined, showing where targeted interventions have worked, but also it highlights where we have some urgent gaps. On average, our households in the balance of state or our urban and frontier areas spend between 2 and 3 months homeless before they are being housed. However, our families with children often stay homeless longer, averaging over 100 days. This shows that we have a huge disparity in being able to get those folks moved into a permanent housing situation. And we think that's because of having access to rental opportunities that will house our families and having capacity in our rural homeless service agencies. Nationally, only 7% of communities have enough shelter beds on any given night. If you see the trend here in our rural communities, we've seen a decline in our emergency and transitional shelter beds. And we've seen a severe, significant decline since 2007. This loss of short-term options directly contributes to more people staying unsheltered. I do want to caution you, however, that people that are in a shelter bed, emergency shelter bed, or a transitional housing situation are still considered homeless. We really want to increase our permanent supportive housing and our rapid rehousing beds. Here we see that permanent housing has told a mixed story. While permanent housing had peaked in 2017, as you can see with the orange line, and it has declined since, other permanent housing, which is our purple line and our kind of greenish line, bluish line with rapid rehousing, has had some growth. It's a struggle. We've had a struggle really to meet the needs, because this is the largest need that we have in our rural communities. So this is where we really need to focus in our rural and frontier communities. So of those that are leaving homelessness in our rural and frontier communities, fewer than 4 in 10 exit to a permanent housing destination. A third of people move into a temporary situation, and another third move to a situation where we're not sure where they go. And I know that some of you will ask about our veterans, so I pulled that veteran data. Our veterans fare a little bit better. Just over half of them exit to a permanent destination. Again, this highlights the fragility of our veterans in our rural areas and their ongoing need for supports not only in rent, but in other wraparound services. So what are the implications? What we know is that it is possible to end homelessness in rural Nevada, but there are some things that we need. We need more shelter beds to get people off of the streets. But what we really need is we need more affordable housing providers in rural and frontier areas to partner with our homeless service providers. And we need more case management supports to successfully provide sustainability for people who are experiencing homelessness and help them move to housing that is permanent, and so that they can sustain that housing. That ends my report, and I am open for any questions that you may have.
Thank you so much. Very insightful as usual. Really appreciate your efforts. Is there any questions or comments from members of the council for Michelle?
I have no questions. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Any additional? Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. This is always super helpful to get your presentations and get a better picture of what we're looking at in the many areas on our topic that you work in, and appreciate all your efforts to continue to make progress and advocate and inform policymakers on how things work and where we should be trying to look at putting resources or policy or really anything that we can do to help connect things and take care of Nevadans. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you for allowing me to present to you today.
Absolutely. With that, we will move into agenda item number 6. This is a discussion and possible action regarding the review of the housing applications from the Nevada Housing Division. Administrator Aycroft.
Thank you, Chair Rob. Thank you, members of the council. There really is not any more applications at this time. However, just to sort of recap where we are so everybody has an understanding. All the agreements in the first issuance are executed and will support 170 PSH, permanent supportive housing units, in the state. Washoe County Cares Campus has 45 of those. The Line Drive Apartments, 50 units. Reno Housing Authority Carville Court Project has 11 permanent supportive housing units supported through this program. The VOA Highway 40 permanent supportive housing will ultimately have 14 units. And the Coordinated Living of Southern Nevada South Nellis Project will have 50 permanent supportive housing units. So right now, effectively, what the division is doing is working with the Urban Institute and Corporation for Supportive Housing for our program evaluation and capacity building and training. And that's really where the emphasis is from now until spring. We've done a couple of different presentations, but we should have more information probably first quarter, second quarter of next year when we reopen the application process, and hopefully we'll have more applicants come into the fold through that training and capacity building project. I will say that our first project that we have supported is starting lease up, and that is at the CARES campus, permanent supportive housing. And that started actually, I believe, 2 days ago. So things are happening in this space. With that sort of concludes my overview of where we are at. We do have staff I see available to answer any questions, and of course I would try to answer any questions, but we do have staff as attendees at this meeting, and be happy to turn it over to them if they have further comments or if there's questions. Thank you.
Happy to hear from additional members of the Housing Division if they have more to add. Okay, I think we can open it up to members of the council with any questions or comments on the progress for the Housing Division. Okay, hearing and seeing none. Thank you so much, Administrator Croth. I know this is one of many things that you and your team are working on to reduce costs for housing and increase the availability of housing across the state. So thank you for your efforts on this in particular, and then all the other things that you guys are working on as well. I know that there's a lot going on in housing, and appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, we can jump into agenda item number 7. This is discussion of the strategic plan and the direction of the Interagency Advisory Council on Homelessness to Housing Technical Assistance Team. I will now, and how we can move forward is Ms. Page. Are you planning to make comments on this one?
Hi, Chair Rob. This is Brooke Page. Sorry, I'm not able to be on camera today.
Not a problem at all.
Thank you. Wanted to thank you all for keeping this agenda topic on your agenda. We wanted to regroup and see how the council is wanting to decision the action plan. The technical assistance work group has been meeting, and we have recognized that we're kind of at a standstill and needing some direction from this council in order to move forward on the action plan that we've presented. And we're hoping that you all may have a discussion topic or some decisions that could be made in order to give some direction to the technical assistance work group on what role you want us to play, if there's a need for us to continue working on the action plan. We've done our due diligence with sort of developing the strategic plan and the action plan, and I think now it's sort of at the council's level to help us figure out how to move forward.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I'll add some stuff here before I open it up to members of the council. I know there's been some questions and concerns from members of the council and the TA and some of our stakeholders as well, as to whether or not we can actually formally adopt and approve the strategic plan. Unfortunately, the Attorney General's office has not been able to staff our meetings recently. We did receive word recently, since our agenda was posted, and some additional pieces, and the DSS team advocated on getting some additional legal representation on how we can move forward with the council and things within it, and what authorities we have to approve or not approve or adopt things. We'll be looking towards the next meeting, hopefully getting an opinion out of the Attorney General's office on whether or not we can move forward with a vote to formally adopt it. But that said, I think with all of the work that has been done and all of the stakeholders that have engaged, and all of the incredible efforts of Miss Page and the team on the TA. I think, I would feel comfortable with saying we would be supportive of taking action in the direction of many of the things in the strategic plan. And I don't think that would take a formal adoption or even a vote of the council to say that we would be in support of moving forward with many of the things in the plan. So with that, I'll open it up to additional comments from the council. I know that there's been some kind of weirdness on how we're adopting or not adopting or taking action or not. But with that, I'll open it up to the rest of the team.
All right, Chair Rob, this is Dr. Katrina. So thank you for providing a little clarity on what we can and can't do. I just want to echo what you said, that I, as a member, am also in support of just supporting them to move forward with implementing some of these very vital and crucial things they come up with in this statewide plan for our community. And so I'm willing to assist and help out where I can as they are moving forward with some action on some of these goals and objectives that are in the plan. So thank you again.
Perfect. And I would echo that as well. Always here to help and advocate in the directions that we can, and definitely supportive of the direction of the strategic plan. Do any other members of the council have any questions or comments?
This is Administrator Akroth. We did provide, I had my staff provide commentary to the action plan created. And we're in agreement to do what, or supportive, I guess, of whatever actions need to be done to facilitate moving those action steps into the strategic plan. So I just wanted to put that on the record.
Thank you very much, Administrator Akroth. Appreciate that as well. Any additional comments or questions from members of the council? And I'll just close this agenda item. I've reviewed our NRS, and I'm not a lawyer, so definitely not something I feel comfortable in making an interpretation on, but do hope that we will be able to get some answers on kind of a path forward if we are allowed or have the authority to take an official vote. I know there's other items on this agenda and some of our previous agendas that do have possible action, and those typically have some sort of statutory or legislative ability or requirement to do so. So we will continue to hopefully get some traction with the Attorney General's office to get an answer on that. And my personal hope is that we would be able to officially adopt on a future meeting through a vote of the council, as long as we have the authority to do so. So with that, anything else on this agenda item before we move into the next one?
No, but thank you, Chair Rob. Thank you for the context. And if there's anything that the technical assistance working group can do to support you all in your work, we are, I think, of service. There's a lot of motivated folks that want to be put to work and help to advance the goals of this committee, the council, and also the work group. So just want to thank you for your time and service.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the time and effort you put into the work you do. It definitely is something that I know each and every one of us on the council appreciate, and look forward to working with you on implementing as well. Okay, with that, I think we can move into agenda item number 8. This is discussion for agenda items for our next meeting, which I believe is November 20th, 2025. Any input from members of the council?
I would say that this is Dr. Katrina again, for the record. I will say that we add this strategic plan again, so we can see any progress and where any support is needed. I'm pretty sure they're going to need some time to kind of figure out, the next steps. just to keep us updated on what we may need to do to assist or what's happening in the community as it relates to the plan.
That sounds
you.
perfect to me. Thank you so much. Any additional items? Okay, if you think of things in between, feel free to reach out to me and let me know if there's additional items that you think we should consider for a future agenda, either, sorry, excuse me, on the next meeting or a meeting after that. Happy to always entertain additional content that might be helpful to this team and the conversation on homelessness to housing generally. So please feel free to reach out to me or our staff at DSS as well. I know sometimes receive some information there as well. So with that, we will move into agenda item 9. This is our second opportunity for public comment. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this matter until it has specifically been added to the agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. If you're making public comment via phone, please call 1-775-321-6111 with the meeting ID 129-817-521 followed by pound. We are now open for public comment. Do any member or anybody on the teams have any public comment they wish to make? Not seeing anyone come off mute. We'll give it a minute for the phone. And Abigail, I'm assuming we do not have anybody that has written in public comment since we took the last public comment.
Hello, I'm sorry. Hi, this is Dr.
Go
Annie
ahead.
Wilson. I just want to make sure that we take Lieutenant Garrell's name off the list and add my name, Dr. Annie, ANNIE Wilson, WLSON, please. The Metro Police Department.
Perfect. We will make sure that the next meeting agenda and materials reflects that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any additional public comment from any members or the public? Okay, not having seen anybody come on the phone either, I think we're good to move into agenda item number 10. We will adjourn this meeting at 1:39 p.m. Thank you all for joining. Appreciate it. We'll see you all soon.
Thank you.